would actually encourage you guys to set a reminder, maybe on your phone or your calendar, to think about a question or an interaction or curiosity that you want to discuss on our weekly calls like this, because that would, whenever you're part of a coaching environment or program, the better your questions, the better results that you're gonna get out of that. So yeah, drop it in the Q&A or drop it in the chat and I'll circle back around to it. Okay, crypto bubbles. This is on the month. This is on the month. And I want you to just have some perspective. Now, I don't know where your psychology is today, but on the month, look at these altcoin prices. Look at this. Bitcoin Cash up 179%. FTT, this is the native token of the failed FTX exchange. Compound 150%. Injector protocol or injective 45%. I'm not familiar with stacks. I hear people talk about it a lot. Polkadot, big layer one trade that I think is going to have a great run. This is what altcoins can do, and I think it's just a good perspective to have when you're looking at the market. And some people haven't been paying enough attention right now in this market. Like, just paying attention to, if all you did year to date, or even in the last 30 to 90 days, if all you did was pay attention to altcoins and the balancing of your altcoin portfolio, you would have some really nice profits and gains on your hands right now. And a lot of our members have, they just don't vocalize it all the time. But like we are in a part of the cycle right now where accumulating these tokens is one of the greatest things that you can do from a wealth perspective. That is like, if someone ran in and held me at gunpoint and said, give me your number one crypto tip right now in this market where we are right now, I would be like, get your altcoins in order. Like, this is a big deal. Daily. Yeah, FTT, I don't know why that, like, I don't even know if FTT, if they'll be using this coin. They're the turnaround CEO that was put in charge of the collapsed exchange is actually doing a good job. And I think he's talking about relaunching it, and they've got some major investor interest, but I don't know why they would use this token, but maybe they're going to. Weekly, monthly. And then on the year, you've just got some major narratives like L1s and AIs. That's a good, that's basically what you're looking at. GMX, just for the record, incredible protocol. Like, I use it all the time, and I've mentioned it in other coaching calls and some of our trainings, but like the GMX, just the GMX interaction or interface. Like, if you guys are like wanting to cut your teeth on a new platform, sorry, hang on, I'm going to get to the homepage. And also just a great altcoin. The GMX altcoin is just a fantastic digital asset. But this is a business, like decentralized perpetual exchange. They allow you to do leverage trading with a hot wallet instead of having to do VPNs and different central exchanges. You can actually trade with leverage here, but not that I teach or encourage you to do leverage trading, but if you go into the app or the DApp and you go to earn, like if you're just looking to like buy and hold, like you can buy and hold this altcoin, either the GMX or GLP on the Avalanche network. And you can earn an APR just by holding it. Like, so, you'll get the volatility and the upside of an altcoin that, buying in the market lows, but then you'll also have just an added, you'll be earning underlying AVAX or wrapped AVAX on top of the GLP. So it's just a little pro tip. I think it's a allocation. It's not like some go forward, make you rich overnight type strategy. But if you're just looking for something wholesome to buy, really looking, I love GMX overall. Okay. Big news of the day. CPI came in and it's looking good. So I think it's safe to say, for those of you who've been with me a while and we've been following this narrative, I think the, oh my gosh, they're raising interest rates narrative is ending. And the market believes that there's a 93% chance that we get another 25% basis increase the last week in July when the Fed announces their decision. But the market's expecting it. And remember, markets go up and down based on expectations being met or unmet. And so certainty is what the market craves the most. And inflation's getting smacked around and it's going down. Like all of the leading indicators, like if I go to Trueflation, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the trueflation.com dashboard, but the Fed notoriously works off of lagging data, like 12-month lagging information, just typical government bureaucracy. But Trueflation is like private real-time data, and they're saying the inflation rate is 2.51%. Well, the Fed's mandate is 2% inflation. So we're there. So I think what you're going to see is, obviously in June, the Federal Reserve paused interest rate hikes, which created a rally in the Bitcoin price. We pierced the $31,000 veil, if you will, on Bitcoin. And I think we're going to get maybe one more interest rate hike. And then from there, you already see the stock market. I posted this morning that the Dow Jones is like 6% away from all-time highs. Like, guys, let that sink in. The stock market is approaching all-time highs. Now, and like, just put it in the chat. Tell me what you've heard. Have you heard positivity or negativity in the ethos of economy and markets and all this stuff? Like, what have you heard in the zeitgeist? What have you read in the headlines? What have you heard people talking about? That's right. The narrative is negative. But how is it that we're at almost all-time highs in the largest markets and most sophisticated equities markets on the planet? I mean, the NASDAQ's crushing it. The Dow Jones is crushing it. The S&P 500 is crushing it. And historically, when all-time highs in the stock markets are met, it's game on for crypto because of this phenomenon we call the rotation of equity, the rotation of liquidity, the rotation of risk on liquidity. So it's that cascading that champagne cascade fountain that you see at the wedding receptions, right? The very top of the global economy, you're going to have things like real estate and stocks and all that stuff. The $40 trillion stock market, equities market. When people like, here's just hear me out here. Coinbase stock, MicroStrategy stock, and any other crypto exposure stock that you can find right now, they're up 90%, 200%, 400%, 600% year to date, because institutional money can't go buy Chainlink crypto. They can't go buy Matic crypto because it's unregulated so far. So what they're doing is they're buying stocks of companies who have exposure to the crypto market. So institutional fund managers are driving the equity markets up. The institutional money is now leading the bull cycle. In the past, retail money have led the bull cycles. So now what's going to happen is they're going to push it up. We're going to be able to trail behind. And what we need to do as a group here in the Crypto Y'all family, we got to be on the lookout for each other, because the danger of institutional money going ahead of us is that they're going to dump on us. They're going to sell on us at key intervals. So if you're not paying attention, and this is why we do this call every single week, is so that you know where you are in the market. If you're not paying attention, you're going to get dumped on, just like November of 2021. And so we're going to have a take profit strategy when we break through, and I think we've got to break through 31.5, then I think we've got to break through 37, 38K on Bitcoin, got to break through that $40,000 barrier, and we're going to keep going. Though nothing goes straight up, right? So this is over the next several months. But we're going to start approaching all-time highs, and your altcoins are going to be worth more than you can possibly imagine them right now. Right now, it's really hard to look forward with a lot of hope and optimism because of the depressed prices that we've experienced. But this is how cycles work. The market's trying to shake you out right now. It's trying to make you become impatient. It's trying to make you sell your cheap coins to the big money fund managers, or the big whales who are in the crypto, who can actually buy the crypto. But there's, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news is kind of the old saying. We got to be ready. If the stock market's our pace car, they're running in front of us, we have an awesome opportunity ahead to generate incredible wealth. So inflation's down, stocks are up. I wanted to just highlight the 5 tokens that I mentioned in our Discord group yesterday. I wanted to talk about these coins just for a minute and give a little bit more commentary on what I think we're going to see out of these tokens in this bull run. And I think I don't want to, I'm going to come back to Chainlink, but I actually don't want to start with Chainlink. I want to start with a couple of other macro things. Let's look real quick. Entertain me here. Let's look at the Dixie, the DXY, the basket of, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Holy cow. See, I haven't looked at this today. Do you see what happened just there? It broke below my trend line. Wow. So we're at $100 US dollar index. So for those of you who've been on these calls a long time with me, have y'all haven't seen this before, at least on the call with me? Yes or no? Yeah. So that's a nosedive for the Dixie. And when the Dixie's down, that's the strength of the US dollar against other currencies. So when this goes down, typically what we see is a strong Bitcoin. Not always immediately. So it's not like, tit for tat. Like you got to give it some time, but like Bitcoin obviously has been on a push. It's been consolidating as well. Like if we zoom out, and I'm going to make this a little cleaner so we can read it a little bit better. Bitcoin has basically been consolidating around that $30,000, $29,000 level since, gosh, April. Wow. Yeah. So longer than I thought. So my point here is the longer something consolidates on the charts like this, the bigger the move. The longer it consolidates, the bigger the move. And I've got a lot of junk here, but um, I want to make sure we're looking at this. So I talked about it last week. I think the next bus stop for Bitcoin is going to be 37.5, 37.673, something like that. If something crazy happens, we're looking at 48K in the next few months, next couple of months, I think. But 37K could be something that happens sooner than you're ready for. So just be ready, buckle up for that. So then let's look at the Bitcoin dominance. So yeah, Bitcoin dominance still hovering around 51%. It's been consolidating since July 1st. So for the better part of a month, we've been above, no, really, we've been above 50% since June 20th on the Bitcoin dominance. This is the market cap dominance of Bitcoin versus all the other cryptos. So if the total market cap of crypto, let's see, how do I look at that? Total market cap right here. Total market cap of crypto is 1.15 trillion right now. Bitcoin at 51% is half of that 1.15 trillion. Now, all-time highs, our market cap was 3 trillion, just to give you some perspective. Let's look at this. I haven't looked at this in a while. This is on the daily time horizon. And I'm going to use the old Fibonacci retracement tool here and just see if I can see what the market cap is wanting to do right now. Market cap goes up, price goes up. That's why I'm looking at this. So it looks like we've got our resistance level on the market cap is going to be that 1.25 trillion. So we need about, what is that, $100 billion to flow into the market. Is that what that is in trillion? I'm not great at math, but I think the difference between right here and right here is 100 billion. I could be wrong, because I think it's like, yeah. So what am I getting at? I think we're in a bull market. I think we are. We've got some things like this. If I zoom in, you see this red line. That's your 20-day exponential moving average. Look what it did. Boom, boom, boom. It broke through the 50, the 100, and the 200 EMAs, which is extremely bullish. Like that is really, really, really nice. And we like to see that. So, all right, let's get into some specific coins, and then I'm going to circle back and we'll do questions and discussions. Chainlink. In the bull cycle, in the next bull run, and I don't know a time frame on this. If I had to guess, 12 to 16 months on what I'm about to say. I mean, worst case scenario, I see Chainlink at $84, something like that. Best case scenario, like euphoria, you can't make this stuff up, $220, something like that. Buying Chainlink at $6.27 is highway robbery. based on where we've been. And look at the weekly. Boy, that's ugly. Gosh. All right, here we go. Let's go 1 year. Look at this. Look at this consolidation. I've done this before, obviously, because of the blue lines that I've drawn. So it's been consolidating between $5 and $9, y'all, for over a year. Like, that makes somebody crazy if you're a trader. That's no fun to day trade, but man, it's fun to accumulate, which is what I've been doing. I was buying this at 89 cents before the last cycle, and it went to $52. So, just a great coin. And this right here is called RSI, or Relative Strength Index, and it's just getting started here on this next move. So I'm excited. We've got definitely some upside to go here. I think once you see that RSI start to pick up, you're going to start seeing Chainlink outperform Ethereum, Bitcoin, all of it. Another one I mentioned is AVAX, Avalanche. Let's look at Avalanche on the weekly. I'm going to close the chandelier exit buy sell signals and just look at this real quick. So Avalanche has done something similar to Chainlink, hadn't it? It's basically been doing this right here. What am I going to do here? So probably going to see some more consolidation from AVAX for longer, but I anticipate AVAX having huge moves again. Like, if all you did was buy these 5 tokens, you're gonna look like the smartest guy on the block in your neighborhood. I'm happy to go into why I like these a little bit more, but right now I'm just kind of looking at some of the fundamentals. This is XRP. This is the wild card. We gotta let this court case settle in, right? But similar patterns, but lots of price suppression compared to the rest of the digital assets, just because of the court case with the SEC. It's really a shame that they did that. But the good news is that the back here in January, when the entire crypto market decided to wake up from its bear market slumber, thank you, artificial intelligence, Chat GPT basically resurrected us. XRP broke out as well, and it broke that trend, that descending wedge, and it has slowly made higher lows, which is where we're right now on weekly resistance, looks like. So are we able to buy XRP, or is it halted? It's halted on in the US, David, but you can buy it on foreign exchanges like KuCoin is where I've purchased mine. Although they are considering, or they are, or already have rolled out KYCs there, so they might stop us from that. But there are other central exchanges that we can use. Uphold, great option. Tad just brought that up in the chat. Solana, hey, gosh, this one. This is like the coin that's been bullied so much by the market, that the narrative around it is almost like it's because it's been whipped so hard that it can only go up. It's basically the idea here. Now it has a lot. It's had a lot of. I mean, it's got a lot of activity and development built on top of it. Don't get me wrong, and they have a very loyal base. But look at the RSI is just now kicking up on the weekly. So if you do these time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 5 minute, like you'll see a lot different data. Like watch how the RSI changes on the daily. So right here, it's overbought. And so you would assume that if you're just day trading, that you're probably going to be at again, this is very generic coaching here, but you would have on the daily here a likelihood of a price decrease in the short term on the daily time frame. If you look at the 4 hour, again, it's been bought up. So we'll probably see a correction here on Solana soon. If you look at the 1 hour, overbought. If you look at the monthly, it's just unexciting, but the weekly's getting started. So if you look at it like as a buy and hold, it's a good time to probably enter here. If you're day trading it, probably a good time to short it. But again, not a day trader. And then Polygon. Also kind of one of those things, except a way better mechanism than Solana, but they've been bullied. And I think Polygon's $1.20 token soon. Look at this consolidation. Holy Moses. This is crazy. Really tight since the 10th. Let's see what the 4 hour consolidation looks like. Not as dramatic, but pretty, like, it broke out right here a couple of days ago. I think this was when the SEC named them in the lawsuit as a security, along with like Algo and a few others during the Coinbase lawsuit or Wells notice. But I think the market's starting to like look beyond Gary Gensler to some extent and start to see the ridiculousness that the SEC has been facilitating. So, okay, those are 5 tokens I wanted to look at. Let me scan back through the chat real quick. Tad, ask me more questions about Pionex. Expand on that, please. Angel, thoughts on folks finance packed farming last week or so? No payout in farms. Is it because of governance period? Yes, I did, but I was still earning. I didn't do the governance. Angel, let's look at that. Oh, I think what you're referring to is actually not what you're meaning to say. So if we go to Pact and we look at farms, so the farms simply reset every so often, and you'll get they'll either reset the liquidity, reset the APR, they'll reset the metrics. Sometimes you can just let them roll over and you don't have to do anything. But I was still able to withdraw my weekly rewards and stuff. There is a transition period though. Right now it looks like all of these farms are on an 80-day clock, which is the governance period. Yes. These are on 5. So there's some that are going to be on different shelf lives, but that's typical. But you should still be able to earn and harvest. Yeah, Brandon, you can move XRP off of KuCoin into your wallet 100%. KuCoin is going to allow you to send to whatever wallet you want to send it to. I send it straight to my ledger and bury it under the house. My thoughts on Reef. I'm buying it. I bought some last week, Don. The price action has been unsexy lately, but let's look at it. I think Reef, the same reason why I like these other 5 L1s and L2s, I like Reef because the narrative for Reef is that it's a layer 1 and they are heavy on the metaverse side of things. And so price action's been really gross. Be a good time to look at a couple of metrics here that let's see, where are our, I might go to coin market cap real quick. So Reef is one of those that could be a life changer, and I'm holding a substantial bag of it, and I think its market cap, I mean, it has a $38 million market cap. So let's look at it on coin market cap real quick. I think this is important. I'm glad you brought this up, Don. So why am I typing in coin market cap? Okay, Reef. So Reef is going to get upward, like when we have like a true alt season. And by the way, we're not in alt season, even though on the month on crypto bubbles we're green. Like we're not in alt season. We're in selective alt season right now. We will have an alt season that will rock your face off. But if I'm looking at the Reef stats here, I want to know their market cap is 38 million. Okay. Circulating supply is 22.8 billion. And the total supply, okay, this is one reason why I like it. Because the circulating supply is how many tokens are out in the economy, right? In the hands of investors and holders. If the total supply were like 30 billion, that means there's 8 billion tokens that Reef Central owns and could dump on our heads. And it really means that, what's the percentage difference between 30 and 22? Something like 30 or 40%, like 40, let's call it 40%. So that means that if there is a total supply that is 40% higher than the circulating supply, your price is really 40% lower than it actually is. However, that's not the case here. It looks like we are completely distributed, which is awesome. That means we don't have any invisible forces that we're fighting against outside of just sheer market penetration and competition and adoption. Does that make sense what I'm talking about with the circulating supply and the total supply? Because of the smart contract, John. I mean, I guess there's definitely possibilities, but the way, and that's why you have to kind of look inside the governance of each token. I don't know if Reef has that capability from a smart contract governance standpoint. So like the opposite of what you're asking about is Gala Games recently burned like billions of tokens that they could have dumped on the market. And it was a massive just loyalty move that they were like, yeah, we've got we've got all these tokens and we're burning them, which means they're literally disintegrating them and not allowing anyone to sell them in the open market. And so they can never be touched again. They decreased the total supply of tokens in comparison to the circulating supply. So, yeah, anyone want to send David a referral link to KuCoin? Somebody in the chat do that. I think Chris Lusk, you mentioned XRP earlier. Grab your referral link and send it to David in the chat. That's good. Thanks for asking, David. That's a nice thing to do. Those are my thoughts on Reef. I like them on a narrative level. I really like it, and I'm pulling for them. I think they have incredible aesthetics, and I've talked about them before, and I'm continuing to hold Reef. I buy them on using BUSD or BNB, and I purchased them on Pancake Swap, which is the largest DEX on the Binance Smart Chain. And if you're ever on DEX Screener or some of these other sites that are advertisement driven revenue, but you can look at all the same stats and stuff. Usually over here you can click trade, and if you hit the little new window button, it'll take you over to the and it'll pre-fill the tokens with the appropriate tokens. I don't want to switch all my wallet stuff right now, but it'll see how it'll just go ahead and get everything situated for you, so that you don't have to worry about like, do I have the right tokens or not. So that's a cool little convenience trick that I've learned, and I like it a lot. But like, if you go to, I'm in the Reef Discord group, like if you follow Reef, like they are building, they are always building. They've always got stuff going, like they are shipping product, and that is really encouraging. Lots of developer talk over here that I don't understand. And that's fine. Like I want to know that these guys who are smarter than I am are doing their jobs and making and like creating stuff that other developers and game developers specifically want to trust these guys with their projects to build on top of it. So I need to look into this accelerator program. I missed that. Let's look at what this is real quick before I address other questions. Hardy Creator welcomes decentralized creator platform for creators, brands, and communities that stood out amongst a list of 350. Oh, okay. So Reef is basically starting their own little accelerator program for people and talent building projects on their platform. That's cool. Okay. So I just think that's healthy. Like that's just good infrastructure and good future. Let's see. Pat, I'll come back to Pionex in just a minute. I'll try to if I have time. If you had to choose one, do you invest in Link or Sol? I would do Chainlink. I think Chainlink is more. I would bet on their utility more so than Sol. Solana has a great adoption, but they have one of the worst. I mean, they're just one of the worst. Ironically, they're one of the worst products out there in terms of just like downtime. Like it's kind of like a third world country that experiences brownouts in the power grid from time to time. Like it just goes out of, they just lose power and it goes down. Like all transactions are halted and stuff. Like it's crazy. Chainlink, you never hear that stuff. It's also kind of apples and oranges, but like Sol is going to use Chainlink to conduct business as well. How do you keep track of all the farms? Take profit moves you need to watch. Spreadsheet, Cindy. And I also don't try to, I try not to be active in more than 3 to 5 farms at one time. I just put it in a spreadsheet, keep track of it. Brandon, yeah, you may have seen this already. Reef is not ERC20. As a matter of fact, they actually do trade on multiple networks, but I would just do the Binance network, and don't buy them on a central exchange. Buy them on Pancake Swap. Buy some BNB or BUSD on Binance.us. Send it over to your MetaMask wallet. Go to Pancake Swap. Swap it there. That's your cheapest transaction pathway. Yeah, Gala. Let's look at Gala. Just the stats there. I think Gala has it's just going to have a longer runway. They've had a lot of adversity. That new contract that they dropped was, I mean, it was a fine move, but like, gosh, the market didn't like it. What is there? I haven't looked at the supply lately. So yeah, this is a great example. To your point, 50 billion max supply, total supply that has not been minted is 24 billion, and then there's a departure of at least 3 billion there. So yeah, but I think the price is suffering because of that. Like, I just think people see that. But I'm in it. It's one of my biggest bags because of their development and their ecosystem and what they're doing. It's just got a hole it's got to dig itself out of. But with liquidity, that's, when the market liquidity starts to go up, I mean, it's got a $528 million market cap, which is healthy and cool. It's not going to move as like Reef is going to outperform Gala just in terms of pure percentages, though. Josh, if you know you're wanting to hold a coin long term, would you just buy and hold or set up a long trading bot with leverage? The only thing about leverage, Chris, is depending on the bot that you're using or the platform you're using, you just got to watch those daily interest rates that you're paying. But like, if you think that you just got to do a little math. Sometimes dollar cost averaging can outperform a leverage long, just literally based on cost of goods sold, like with the interest rate that you pay for that leverage. I think, like, again, different platforms have different prices, but usually it's like 0.07% a day or something like that. GMX is actually outrageous. I can't remember what theirs is. It's really expensive. So leverage longs can get pricey, but if you're using big bags, like, it makes sense. And I think you're thinking correctly. I think you're thinking the right way. At this point, probably a decent play based on where we are in the market. But over the last 12 to 16 months, you would have made more money just dollar cost averaging once a week as opposed to a leverage long, because you have, partial liquidation risks, even if you're doing 2 or 3x leverage, with some of the episodic failures that we've seen over the last year and a half. Some of those big wicks down would have liquidated you at least somewhat. So dollar cost averaging wins the game when you are in a downward market, and then when you're in a sideways and up market, I think leverage longs can maximize your gains as long as that you got a cost efficient platform, which I think you use KuCoin bots actively, so you're probably aware of that. Not a bad, not a stupid strategy. I would definitely not question you on that, as long as you're paying attention to your costs. Q&A. Is the Pulse chain airdrop over? I tried doing it when it was first mentioned and didn't get anything out of it. I don't know. Might be worth trying it again, John. I haven't looked at it in weeks since they launched. Is it a good time to get? This is a good question. Is it a good time to get into Bitcoin mining since there will be fewer coins to mine soon? How does the BRC20 network affect this, if at all? BRC20 network doesn't really affect. Well, I can't say that. Miners who were already in the game when the BRC20 launched in January, and then ordinals followed, and I might be speaking Chinese to some people here, but like I covered it a couple of months ago. Um, I don't know if it's a good time to get into Bitcoin mining. I think if you were able to get into it at scale, yes. But I think at this point, I mean, it's a centralized game. Like there are actually the the majority of Bitcoin mining on the planet is dominated by a few, quote unquote. And I mean, to make it worth your while, I mean, you would make more money buying Chainlink and holding it than buying a Bitcoin rig and paying for the power bill and upkeep and all that stuff. So I view Bitcoin mining more as a religious decision than a capitalistic endeavor. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Um, Pionex or Tad. Oh, I got signed out. Hang on. I don't want to show all you guys my password. I know what y'all do. Um, that's a good question, Tad. I think it's actually a good time to start bots again. You know, if you started a bot 12, 14 months ago, it's really hard. Like bots are not like they're not magicians. They can't make something out of nothing, right? Like it's like sticking a rudder in the water behind a boat. You have the water that the ocean gives to you, the current, if you will. And but if you play your cards right, it's just like entering a position, but you're able to maximize the hours and days while you're sleeping and while you're working and while you're occupied elsewhere. And so you actually catch me at a good time. I had Pionex open yesterday and I just ran out of time. I'm I'll be transparent. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do right now with my trading bots, specifically with Pionex. I was entertaining a Litecoin pair with ETH. Right now, I have like $5,000 of ETH sitting in my Pionex account. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do a volatile pair or if I want to do a USDT pair. But just so y'all know, like just from an orientation navigation standpoint, basically this little drop down bar, if you hit that where the assets are listed, and then you want to go, these categories right here: USDC, BUSD, obviously both stable coins, BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Leveraged, for those of us in the United States, we are not able to use the leverage. So this is the reason again why we want if we had regulation, I would use leveraged bots like religiously on Pinex specifically. USDT is what I talk about in the training. So like right now, if you're trying to maximize gains, you got to think about it still. Like you got to think about the asset. So Bitcoin, like I was saying earlier, if I drag this over here next to trading view and I look at Bitcoin and okay, So I think it can go from where we are now at 30,500 to 30, we'll call it 38K, right? So if I get this little measuring device and go from here, let's see, there to there, there's a 23% gain if I just bought Bitcoin and held it. So if I put $1,000 on Bitcoin right now, I feel like in the short term, I could make 23% or $230. However, if you look at Ethereum, and it doesn't always work this way, but we got to remember bots are buying low, selling high all day. What do I think Ethereum can do right now? Well, our Fibonacci's tell us that it's got some room to go to 2,600. So if I do that little measurement tool from where we are now at 1884-ish up to 2,600, we're looking at a 37% gain. So just from a buy and hold perspective, if all I did was buy and hold, I have higher upside potential. Again, assuming you can remove your human emotions and actually buy and hold, you could have a 38% return on your cash just by buying and holding in the next short term. However, you could maximize that with a bot because the bot's going to take advantage of that sideways and up action. So you could come out way higher than 20 or 30 or 40%. So I would probably just, again, there's so many options, like all of these. And this is true, like with any of these, like if we feel like there's going to be a move, like with Polygon or Matic, like you have a higher upside, but you also have higher risk. But like if I'm choosing between Bitcoin and Ethereum bot right now, just a grid bot, I'm choosing Ethereum because I think I'm going to be able to maximize that 38% and maybe squeeze out 45, 50% just because it's more efficient and it's taking on trades on those transactions more than I can personally. So I hope that helps. That's a very simplistic way I would think about it, is just consider instead of going Bitcoin USDT, just consider using USDT and another like more volatile coin, but not something like this is where I get shiny object syndrome. Like I really love AVAX. I think Avalanche could see $22, $23 soon, possibly more. Like it could double. You could see 100% on that easily in the next 3 weeks. So, if you're going to do a trading bot, why you could do the Bitcoin trading bot because it's going to move first, but then just have your head on a shoulder. And again, Tad, you're asking for a profit strategy. If you could have a good head on your shoulders, take your profits with Bitcoin, roll it into your bot quickly, and then just start cascading it down. But I don't know if you're going to be fast enough. You could be. Usually 2 or 3 day lag between moves on the larger to smaller asset classes. Yes, John, there is a training on PineX. It's not a monthly fee. It's 0.05% per trade. It's pretty nominal. It hasn't been cost prohibitive for me. Tad, does that help? Like, does that help you think about your approach there? Does that answer your question? Okay. Well, guys, I hope this has been a good session for you. Sometimes I like just riffing on what you guys are thinking about. And, I hope this is the kind of stuff that y'all can take and apply to your investing life and your crypto flywheel. So I'm going to call it quits for now just because of the time constraint. And can't wait for this market to kick in and start crushing it. So you guys reach out to me on Discord if you need me. We'll talk soon.